Hello the internet, hope you're all well, thanks for stopping by. A couple of weeks ago I did a video about Hard Drivin on the SEGA MegaDrive / SEGA Genesis, showing how you could complete the entire game in 2.5–3 minutes. It was never a video designed to dump on the value for money of games back then, because most games back then were like arcade ports. You'd spend 30 to 50 quid on a game which you could finish in maybe an hour, certainly on the day you bought it. But it's more to highlight the good value, relatively speaking, of modern driving games like Gran Turismo 7, which gets dumped on from a great height for only having 500 cars and 40 tracks, compared to the value for money you got from games back then, which, value adjusted, was a lot more than what you're paying for Gran Turismo 7. You're getting good value for money. And it went down well with a lot of people. I had hundreds of comments on that video. A lot of people saying glad they didn't buy it, but a lot of people showed a lot of warmth to the game, and many people also said, oh, you ought to play Race Drivin, the sequel to Hard Drivin. Well, it's right there, Race Drivin. I've got it on the SEGA MegaDrive. Now, Race Drivin came out a couple of years after Hard Drivin did, and it took 2 to 3 years for it to trickle down to the consoles, and it never actually came out in the European market. It never came out on the Mega Drive. It was only ever out on the Genesis in North America and the Japanese version of the Mega Drive. And I'm going to play through for you in a moment. I played it earlier on, and it took me all of about 12 minutes to complete the entire game. And the reason I'm doing this video is because a lot of people requested it, but also to show that while I gave Hard Drivin a bit of a free pass for it only having 3 minutes worth of content, I do kind of think that Atari Games and Tengen were kind of abusing our trust a little bit. They had brass balls with this game, because they basically repackaged Hard Drivin. It had the exact same stunt track and the exact same car, but as a bonus they added the auto test track, which you do in less than 30 seconds, and the super stunt track, I think it's called, which is a lot longer than the original stunt track, but not much harder. And I played the whole game through in around about 12 minutes, and I'm going to show it to you in a moment. Yeah, it doesn't give you a great deal more value for money than the original Hard Drivin, and I do kind of think they were taking the mickey. You make up your mind and tell me what you think in the comments, and I'll catch you at the end of the video. Okay, this is Race Drivin on the SEGA Genesis. We've got the new Super Stunt track, we've got the Autocross track, and we've got the original Stunt track as well, plus a course designer. You choose your course on the next screen. We're going to jump straight in with the Super Stunt course, and I'm going to stick with the Sportster. I don't know if it even still is the Ferrari Testarossa, but you know what, I'm not going to make the same mistake I made last time and call it a front engine car. First corner, you've got this long banked corner. They've still not learnt the lessons from the previous game that in motor racing, bank corners mean you can go much quicker around the corner. Hard Drivin logic remains that if you go too fast you launch yourself into the sky, which, as we're speaking, someone has built a barn in mid-air. This elevator section is actually really quite tricky because you can't go off the track at all, you will fall to your death. So you've got this really high elevated section, which is actually really quite tricky, and there's a cow in the middle of the road, as you would do. This section here, this 40-mile-an-hour right-left section, it took me a couple of goes to get this right. I kept falling off this edge just here, but once you know it's there, it's all good. Now, fans of the original, remember that the course was split into 2 sections, speed and stunt. You don't get that on this. Although it's a longer track in Race Drivin, it's a combination of speed and stunts. This particular stunts, you have to make sure you're going over 80 mile an hour as you'll headbutt the bridge on the other side. We've got another bank corner coming up here. Quite a tricky one this is. Again, carry too much speed, you're just going to launch yourself into the sky. Now we're going to make our way back round to the loop that we've just jumped through the middle of. A couple of right hand corners here. There's a quite tight one coming up in a moment which you need to lose a bit of speed for, otherwise you run out too wide. Now, just like the original, the loop, just keep the car in the middle of the track, facing straight forward, keep it pinned to over 90 mile an hour, you won't come a cropper. You'll also notice there are no other cars on the track. There are no AI cars, no Tesla Cybertrucks coming at you, and then this is a new one. I call it the Mobius loop, just like in Sonic the Hedgehog 2. In fact, with the loop, it basically is a Sonic the Hedgehog course, this is. Look at that frame rate. Oh my, you can actually count the frame rate here. Wow, the MegaDrive, yeah, the MegaDrive's struggling here. Slow it down a bit here, otherwise you'll spin out wide here. Bit of a tricky section coming up here. You've got to get enough speed to go up, but get it back down to about 60 mile an hour, otherwise you'll just go skyrocketing here. You crashed over the top of the hill, and we're carrying a lot of speed now into the very final section. There's a lovely property on the right hand side, make sure you don't crash into that. We've got 4 cows in the middle of the road, make note of that and we'll get them the next time round. And then this is the very final corner. You just got to navigate one last bank curve, and I got that wrong, haven't I? Yeah, I managed to get all the way to the end and then crash on the very final corner. As long as you don't do that on the next run round, which is against the... Well, it's not actually the Phantom Photon. On the original game, you had to set a time to beat 3 minutes 40, of which we've absolutely destroyed here. We've got 2 minutes 26, and you're just going to park it up at the side of the road, let the timer count down, and then we're going to race up against the AI guy, which isn't the Phantom Photon this time around, it's the Stunt Seeker. Yeah, Stunt Seeker. So we're going to race that same course through. You're not allowed to crash once, and you've got less than 10 seconds of time off-road. And to be totally honest, this is quite easy. All you're really doing is making sure you don't crash. There are a couple of opportunities for you to crash it, but you can be quite sedate about this. See, I'm already ahead of the Stunt Seeker, and you've just got to manage your speed, keep it in the middle of the road, don't do anything stupid, and you'll be fine. So we've got this elevated section, very nearly drove off the road there, but just keep it central, keep it under control, so we're approaching 100 miles an hour, but this, like I said previous time, this is a tricky section. Just keep it in the middle of the road, don't do anything stupid, floor it as soon as you can. We've left the Stunt Seeker for dead, we really have. Fast section here, all we're doing here is just putting a bigger gap between us and the Stunt Seeker. We've got the jump coming up here, so bring it back down to around about 80 miles an hour. Any slower than that, you're going to come a cropper. Any faster than that, you're going to nosedive. You've got this horrible bank corner here. Why can't you go around a bank corner to 100 miles an hour? I don't understand. Ooh, very nearly went off the edge there, but no, we're all right there. There's checkpoint, doesn't do anything. When you're on the final lap thing, you're not against the clock, you're just purely against the Stunt Seeker here. Loop the loop, keep it roughly central, 90 miles an hour, keep it in a straight line. Again, there's no traffic whatsoever on the, well, no traffic in the game at all apart from on the original course. Keep it in the middle of the track. We've got the Mobius loop. In all my practice, I think I did 4 practice laps. I didn't once fall off this, so I don't even know if you can fall off it. It just takes you in the right direction. So as long as you're roughly central, doing 90 miles an hour, you're all alright. Bring the speed down a little bit, don't go too wide. Oh, gone off a little bit there, but no, we're okay. Up this section here, keep it below, well, around about 60 miles an hour as you go over the crest, otherwise you'll lose contact with the ground. Pick up speed as you come back down, and we're very nearly at the end here. Just got this final section past the lovely property on the right there. We've got the 4 cows, let's go and collect a couple of them, a couple of moos there, lovely stuff. And the final corner, so just make sure I don't go too fast around here, bring it down, yeah, that should be all alright. And that is it. That's the Super Stunt Track, all done. Like I say, that was my 4th go at it. I'd never done that course before in my life. 4 goes. 2 minutes and 16 seconds to do it. Oh, look at that frame rate. The frame rate drops even slower when you're looking at the instant replay. Oh, it's not good. So, there you go. That is the majority of the new content sorted. So there we go. So I'd already done a practice run through. That was actually the old stunt course, which we're going to do now. I'm going to go back to the original course and show you in this game how it's basically the exact same track as it was before. So I'm going to do the speed track first, and then I'm going to do the stunt track straight after. So if you've seen the previous video, you've already seen a commentary of this one, so I'm going to shut up and let you watch this. I'll catch up in a moment. As before, once you've set the standard and qualified for the championship, you could just park it up at the side of the road and wait for the timer to count down. I'm just going to show you that you can hit the cow and it does move. There you go. Right then, we're on to the final lap against the Phantom Photon. Yep, the Stunt Seeker has gone back in the garage with his tails between his legs, and we're back against the original Phantom Photon. So again, I'm going to shut up and let you watch this. And that's the original stunt course sorted. Pretty decent time actually, I'm quite happy with that one. So yeah, that is the 2 longest tracks in the game sorted, and now I'm going to show you the new auto test Autocross Track, which yeah, it's not going to take too long to show you this one. In fact, it's so short they enforce you to do 5 whole laps of it. So that's the Autocross Track. Again, I'm going to use the Sportster, and oh, I'm using auto gearbox in this video. I normally use manual gearbox, but when I did the previous videos, I was fine because I'm talking to you guys. I was missing gear changes, so I decided I went with auto gearbox in this particular one. But this is the Autocross Track, and there really is nothing to it. We're already at the checkpoint for halfway. We're already more than halfway. Final corner, and look, we're at the finish line already. And that was 27 seconds including acceleration. So Ghost Car is that's your best lap. You're already going faster than it because you're already moving. You've got this first left-right combination, then another little combination here, really tricky, and then the last corner. This is it. This is one of the 3 courses. It's taking us around about 25 seconds, and we're just going to get quicker as we learn the course. There's just nothing to it. I mean, what is there to say? I've got nothing more to say. It's 3rd lap already. We're already halfway around the entire thing. It's, yeah, I can't really call this bonus content really. It's just so brief. But you know what? I would never dump on a retro game like this because of this kind of content. Because back then, it's what we wanted. A lot of these games were direct ports from the arcade, and to have an arcade game in your bedroom or in your living room, it was fantastic. We just ate this up with a big spoon. It was fantastic being able to play what was effectively an arcade machine in your own house. Okay, they could have done something to do a bit more content. I mean, even games like SEGA Rally and Virtual Racing, they put in additional content, 2-player modes, mirror modes, reverse tracks, things like that. Well, we do at least have a course editor on this game, because there's a game that was spawned off the back of Hard Drivin and Race Drivin was Stunts on the Amiga and PC, which a lot of people in the comments on my previous video really warmed to. It was a great game, and sooner or later I'm going to have a clamber up into the loft and dig out my big box of Amiga games and have a game with that, because it sounds great. I've just never played it. And this is the track construction set that's included within Race Drivin. It's a bit basic, if I'm honest, but you can create something. You can create a bit of a speed track maybe, but it doesn't add a great deal of longevity to the game, if I'm totally honest. You're just adding straights or curve sections here, and then you get to play it through in a few moments. So let's just finish this circuit up, close it out. It doesn't take long to actually make a circuit. This is additional content, yeah, but you're going to use it once, maybe twice, and then get completely bored of it. So I've made a track, press start, let's go to the race. I'm going to go with a speedster this time, and all you're going to see is just a big flat open expansive track. It is what it is. Yeah. So yeah, you've got 3 courses, a track designer, and 3 cars for 40 odd quid. So there you go. Race Drivin on the Sega Genesis, just a slightly trumped up version of Hard Drivin. 2 extra courses, 2 extra cars, and a course designer. If you had Hard Drivin, yeah, I think Atari were having your pants down if they expected you to buy that as well. On the flip side of the coin, if you didn't own Hard Drivin, then actually Race Drivin was pretty good value, because it included the whole entire game of Hard Drivin and a few extra bonus things, but it cost you an extra 35-40 quid. Tell me what you think in the comments below, and I'll see you on the next video. Take it easy.